Home early?
Yeah, the Avengers wouldn't take me at the door, and Coulson's making me sign this stupid application form to get into S.H.I.E.L.D.
Did you show him your deadly karate skills?
Of course I did! It's like they chopped apart his brain and he can't make rational decisions anymore. Anyway, let's just get through this. Let's see. First name, Adam. Superhero code name, Atom Bomb. Question 1. Are you a master of one-liners and witty retorts? Is the Hulk green? Checkaroo! This'll go by in no time. Are you A, a leaf on the wind, B, a shiny snowflake, or C, a vampire slayer extraordinaire? Medical information. Are you a billionaire, genius, or philanthropist? None of the above. Years of combat experience versus ultra-powerful species, vampires, reavers, zombie hillbilly, 0. List your 3 favorite Shakespeare sonnets, please explain your choices and highlight metaphors, blah-de-blah. Who wrote this? Written by Joss Whedon. That's it, I'm joining the Justice League. This week's episode of Out of Frame, we're taking a close-up on every comic book nerd's lord and savior, Joss Whedon.
Or his Whedonness, El Whedonito, J-Dubs, the center of the Whedonverse?
With his witty, action-packed, edge-of-your-seat writing and directorial style, he's become very popular among both fans and media studios for being able to deliver the goods. However, behind all of the kidnappings, heists, explosions, and one-liners is a genius who has storytelling down to a science. His generally popcorny stories have gained such popularity because they are more than just the sum of their parts, and it's all due to his intellectual approach to his craft. However, his talent didn't appear out of nowhere. Joss comes from a long line of writers. His father was a writer for the Electric Company and the Golden Girls, and his father before him was a writer for the Donna Reed Show. And if that's not enough, his 2 younger brothers, Zach and Jed, are also writers. Joss got his start writing on Roseanne and Parenthood, and also helped to doctor many scripts before getting his big break when his movie script for Buffy the Vampire Slayer was turned into his greatest nightmare.
But it had Rutger Hauer in it. How could it be bad?
Well, suffice to say that the Buffy the Vampire Slayer film wasn't quite what Joss had in mind. However, it was a launching point, and through the flop, television industry giants could see a good writer when they saw one. Whedon used his newly found credential to land roles, script doctoring, and writing to some really varied and generally well-received material, including Toy Story and Speed.
Toy Story? That's like my favorite movie.
However, Buffy never left his mind, and he always wanted a do-over. With his contacts and industry clout, he was eventually able to land Buffy on the WB network. And so the legend of the Whedonator began. What made the show such a benchmark series were essential criteria that represent all of Whedon's work. With great ensemble cast dynamics, frequent challenging of stereotypes, and an equal mix of intense action, heavy drama, and knee-slapping humor.
But we already covered Buffy in the close-up of his partner in crime, Jane Espenson.
Whedon used all of these elements in his next hit show, the painfully short-lived space opera western steampunk classic, Firefly. Criteria 1, it features a great ensemble cast with interesting dynamics. The show surrounds a group of renegades, misfits, and weirdos who all find themselves aboard the Firefly-class starship Serenity. There's Captain Mal Reynolds and his right-hand woman Zoe, the nerdy pilot Wash, the headstrong companion Inara, this bubbly mechanic named Kaylee, and she's great, the unfiltered gunman, and they got this preacher on the thing, and they're on the ship, and they're in space, and whew, I really winded myself there. Oh my goodness. Got any water in this thing?
Woody, Buzz, Bo Peep, Slink, Rex, Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head.
Like with Toy Story and Buffy, none of Firefly's characters ever feel minor. Each receives a lot of development and depth, and the crew and dynamic relationships are really fun to see. Criteria 2, the show frequently challenges stereotypes, especially with Buffy and other characters like Dollhouse's Echo. It's easy to see Joss's desire to write gender-unspecific roles for women. His feminist views, stemming from a strong mother and a history teacher named Lee Stearns, have well been documented. But it certainly doesn't stop there, as there are truly some role-defying moments in the show from Whedon's guys. How about Jane turning out to be a hero on a small outer world? And when Mal takes a backseat to Simon as the soft-spoken doctor breaks into a heavily guarded hospital, eh?
That reminds me of that scene when Andy's toys broke into the Pizza Land crane game. Oh man, classic.
Criteria 3, a mix of action, humor, and drama. Each Firefly episode has a completely unique feel, from the charming and lighthearted shindig to the high-octane train job, and then to the nail-biting objects in space. After the untimely death of Firefly, nerds worldwide shook off their depression when Whedon was chosen as the man to tie together the superstars of the Marvel Universe in The Avengers. Why did Marvel choose Whedon? Why, the formula, of course. A great ensemble cast with equally important roles to all involved.
Check.
Destruction of stereotypes.
Check, check.
An equal mix of humor, action, and drama.
Check, check, and check.
Whedon knocked it out of the park with The Avengers, and when the dust had settled, it had earned the number 3 spot on the highest grossing films of all time, falling just short of James Cameron's 2 heavyweights, Avatar and Titanic. People were talking about Whedon as an innovative director, praising his style for storytelling as fresh and cutting edge. After The Avengers, Whedon totally shifted gears. His wife, the equally media-savvy artist Kai Cole, urged him to pay homage to one of his most influential predecessors. Under Kai's watchful eye, Joss turned his own house into a movie set for the considerably lower-keyed Much Ado About Nothing. Fans were shocked, thinking this William Shakespeare adaptation was the furthest thing from Marvel's flashy romp. However, as any Shakespeare lover will tell you, the style of this film is as popcorny and exhilarating as any of Whedon's other films. The Bard had great ensembles,
Hernia, Lysander, Puck, Nick Bottom,
stereotype-defying characters,
Othello, Richard III, Lady Macbeth,
action,
battles, duels, beheadings,
comedy,
fools, cuckolds, donkey dudes,
drama.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
You could say all the world's a stage and we are all its players. And Joss Whedon is one of its greatest writers, using timeless methods to create modern masterpieces. Well, that's a wrap on this week. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Joss also does a lot of work in mediums other than TV and film. List 5 of Whedon's alternative works in the comments below, or tweet your answer to @OutOfFrameTV. Anything's fine, from comic books to podcasts. Next week, we lovingly tackle Canada's sweetest mean girl, Rachel McAdams. Be sure to tune in. Adam Bomb, out!